Okay, y'all, welcome back. Today we are going to make Big Mac garlic toast. I have done this recipe a few times before with Sloppy Joe mix, like hamburger meat, barbecue sauce, cheese. This is basically the same thing, only it's a little bit more adapted to the Big Mac. So a pound of ground beef, 1 onion chopped, cook that, drain it, and then we're going to put in these seasonings. You're going to put in some onion powder, some garlic powder, a little bit, just a touch of paprika, some salt, and pepper. I went ahead and drained this, but you can do this first and then drain it. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Because we're going to put this in the oven, it's going to heat back up. Okay, and you can also take your garlic toast. So these are the garlic toast. You can also take these and heat them up in the oven first. Just to make them just a little bit. I typically do not do that. And they turn out fine. These have been sitting out of the freezer for a little while, so they are a little bit defrosted. And so what I'm going to do now is just show you how I assemble them, and then when they come out of the oven, I'll show you what else we need to do. Okay? Hang on just a second. Okay, y'all, so this is what they look like once you're done. You have drained the meat, seasoned the meat, cooked the meat, all that. And we're going to put them on these little garlic toast. You need to preheat your oven to about 350. I'm going to include the recipe, but I don't even think it even says on there what temp to put them on. So this part is basically just the cheeseburger part of it. And you can stop there if you want to, if you don't want to put all the extra stuff that we're going to put on when it comes out. You can just stop there. Because they are cheeseburger garlic toast. But I'm going to add the Big Mac sauce to them. A little bit of green onion and some dill relish when they come out. Dill relish is basically just chopped pickles. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, you can. So right now I'm just putting some cheddar, shredded cheddar on here. This is very similar to, like I said, the Sloppy Joe garlic toast that we made before in previous videos. We've done it at least twice that I can remember. And you don't need much, just a little pinch. You don't need to go crazy. And so I would just put this in the oven until the cheese is melted, but also you can kind of like pick up one of the toasts and see if it's toasted on the underside, and if it is, it's fine. It's done and time to come out. Okay, 350 until the toast is toasted and the cheese is melted. I'll see you back here in a few minutes. Okay, y'all, this is out of the oven and it's pretty much finished. So the first thing we're going to do, instead of making a sauce, I'm going to put Thousand Island on there. So just put a little bit on each one, not much, half a teaspoon or so. Oops. And we're going to put a little bit of dill relish as well. Not much, just a little bit. About a half a teaspoon, quarter of a teaspoon, something like that. And then this is ready to serve. I'm probably going to add some green onions as well. And you will have to eat this with a fork. Probably would be best. Okay. Some green onions, and I'm dropping them everywhere. Okay, y'all, let's get to making our next appetizer. Okay, y'all. So I'm probably going to pair this with some tater tots that I've got made. But this is a perfect meal all by itself. And you could make these in bulk with just a pound of ground beef. I even had some ground beef left over just to add in some more Texas toast. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make some meat loaf patty sandwiches. Make sure I said that correctly. And I'm going to get my oven preheated right now, 400 degrees, 2 pounds of hamburger meat. Supposed to make about 8 patties. We'll see. So we're going to mix this up and then we're going to get it and put it in the oven to finish it. Okay, so let's get started. You're going to need 2 pounds of ground beef. You're going to need an onion chopped. This was half of a large onion, so you're going to need 1 small one. Okay. You're going to also need minced garlic, but I'm going to use powder. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably wait because we got to add some more seasoning. So we're just going to skip that garlic and move on to our next ingredient. We're also going to leave out the Italian seasoning. I never put that in my meatloaf. I don't want it to taste like that. So I'm going to leave that out. You could put it in there, but I'm going to leave it out. So minced garlic, we're going to skip. Worcestershire sauce, I need 2 tablespoons of that. So 2 tablespoons, and that's about right. Okay, an egg, which I usually do 1 egg per pound, but we're going to follow the recipe. I'm going to try to be a good girl as best I can. Alright, so this is going into the meatloaf. You're going to need 1/4 cup of ketchup. Okay, but we're also going to put some on top as well. So I'm just checking over to make sure that I'm still on track. Salt and pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. If you're going to use Italian seasoning, you'll put that in now, and then your paprika. I'm going to skip the minced garlic, like I said earlier, but you can put that in, but you're going to put garlic powder in now, and we're going to do a teaspoon of each. So a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of onion powder, a teaspoon of paprika, and I may just go under, just a little bit under, because I don't want it to be too much paprika. And you're going to always need salt and pepper. So we're going to do our best to get as close to a teaspoon as possible. And if not, my kiddos, when they're eating it, they can just add extra, which they probably won't. Okay. So we are going to put all this together. We're going to mix it together, and I'm going to form patties, and I'm going to put it on a wire rack, which I'm fixing to get out right now, so that you're going to want to do this and raise it. Hang on just 1 second. Okay. So you're going to want a wire rack for your baking sheet, because, let me show you my little, you're going to want one of these, because this is going to raise it up out of the grease, because you know it's going to have grease. And the best thing to mix all this with is your hands. And it gets pretty gross, because the fat from the ground beef is just kind of, it sticks to your hands. So it's best to go ahead and wear some gloves. You can do it with bare hands, but it's kind of nasty. Okay. So this sure does look like that's going to be more than eight patties, but you're going to have some shrinkage. Some of this is going to shrink. So keep that in mind. Alright. See how gross? Anyway, we're going to keep these on because we're fixing to make patties. I just got to move it and not make a mess. Okay. Put my cookie sheet there. Make sure y'all can see it. Put the bowl back. Okay. Now, the only thing that I didn't put in this yet, and I forgot, was breadcrumbs. So I'm going to wipe off my gloves real quick. And try to not make a mess, but it's still making a mess. Oh, I'll just have to wipe this off later. So gross. I knew I was forgetting something. I even checked to make sure and I still forgot. Okay, instead of Italian breadcrumbs, I'm just using plain because that's what I have on hand. At least I didn't forget too far advanced into the recipe like I always do. You've been with me a while, you know I forget a lot. So, yeah, that's a lot better. It was kind of a little bit too wet. There we go. A lot better. So you're going to need about a half a cup of breadcrumbs. And like I said, I'm using plain because I don't want the whole Italian part of it. Sorry. I don't mean anything negative about it. I just don't want it to taste like spaghetti. Meat for spaghetti. You know what I mean? So I just want to stick to my regular old patties. Meatloaf, you know. Trying to get it as close to what I typically make as possible. Now I'm going to go ahead and make these, and these are kind of, that was kind of big. So we'll take this out. We'll take a little portion off. And like I said, they need to be kind of smashed as flat as possible because they're going to shrink quite a bit. And this is very forgiving. So if you get through there and you're like taking everything out, trying to, you know, maybe you didn't get the breadcrumbs mixed in good enough, you can do it right then. It'll be fine. Okay, I want to move this down just a teeny tiny tad because I want to do 4 on each row. I'm sorry, y'all, that I forgot about the breadcrumbs. Duh. I'm getting a little ahead of myself there. But this is like one easy recipe, so. Alright, let me make sure I've got enough here. Trying to make sure I have enough to make 8 burgers. Almost. I'm going to have to take a little bit off of each one. Reform some of these. Okay. Promise you, when these get out of the oven, they're going to be super tiny. Okay. There we go. All right, so let me put some of this on there because I don't want to lose any of it. Let me get cleaned up real quick. And we're going to put the sauce together, and that has to go on these before we put them in the oven. So give me just 2 seconds. I don't want to grab my camera with nasty hands. Okay, so let me grab a bowl. And hope that I make enough to go on these. All right, so you're gonna need a 1/2 cup of ketchup. Okay. 1/2 cup of barbecue sauce. And this is just plain. I didn't do my normal sweet and spicy. This is just plain Kraft original. Okay. And a tablespoon of mustard, which I am like almost out of because we love mustard. I think it said tablespoon. Okay. All right. I'm gonna mix all this together. Now usually I just do ketchup. I was like, we'll try it this way. See how it goes. Hopefully I didn't mix too much, but it already looks like too much, doesn't it? All right, move this back over. Oven is ready to go. And we're just gonna put this on top of each patty. And like I said, we have the rack underneath. Even though it's gonna make a huge mess, you still just need, the rack. It just helps. I always do this to myself. Look, I just always do this to myself. So let me take some off. Okay, spread it out, spread it out. All right, so 400 degrees for 35 minutes. And then broil at 500 degrees for just a couple of minutes. So hopefully we won't burn the sauce on top. Okay, so I'm just gonna fry up some potatoes. I'm just gonna peel them and dice them up and fry them to serve them with this. These are gonna go on hamburger buns with some pickle. So pickle dill chips. So and I even got the small buns too, because I didn't think that, I'm not sure shrinkage wise, So I'll see you back here in about a half an hour. Okay, y'all, so this is the finished product. I paired it with some fried potatoes like I told you I would, and on a bun with some pickles. And that's it. It's basically a hamburger, but it's going to taste, like meatloaf, of course. But it's real simple, real easy. The key to it is that rack. You need that rack because it raises your meat up out of the grease, and that's what you need. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.